chase the promise, widespread recognition, a shortcut to success, and the peace of not being a product. The world screams for your attention, demanding a piece of your soul for public consumption. Every scroll, a tiny dopamine hit reinforcing the lie. You are what you share. We're told our personal brand is our currency, our digital footprint, our undeniable legacy. The pressure to perform, to curate, to be perpetually on is suffocating, a silent cage of expectation. But what if you choose silence? What if you choose to vanish from the digital clamor? Anonymity beckons like a cool, dark refuge from the scorching sun of constant exposure. The promise of peace, no judgment, no performance, just raw, unadulterated self. But choosing the shadows comes at a cost, a brutal, unforgiving price tag. First, the slow, agonizing fade of your voice. Your thoughts unheard, your creations unseen. The world moves on, oblivious to the brilliance you might harbor, the wisdom you possess. Your impact, diluted, your potential, confined. A quiet scream, echoing only within your own skull. Then comes the doubt, a creeping vine of fear. Am I irrelevant? Does anything I do truly matter? The human ego craves recognition, a fundamental need for validation woven into our very being. To deny it is to wage an internal war, a battle against your most primal desires. The quiet life can feel like a slow erosion, each day chipping away at your sense of purpose. You trade fleeting exposure for profound invisibility, a choice few truly comprehend. The artist who never shows their work, the thinker who never speaks their mind, the innovator who fears the spotlight. Their brilliance remains locked away, a treasure buried beneath layers of self-imposed silence. What opportunities slip through your grasp when the world doesn't know you exist? Collaboration, mentorship, the serendipitous connections that spark new worlds, all contingent on being seen. To live anonymously is to choose a path of radical self-reliance, to validate oneself without external mirrors. It's a crucible of the spirit, forging an identity independent of applause or clicks. But the solitude can be a heavy cloak, insulating you from both praise and constructive criticism. Growth often requires friction, the clash of ideas, the discomfort of exposure. Anonymity denies you that friction, often leaving you stagnant, unrefined, unchallenged. The fear of being misunderstood, judged, or canceled drives many into the shadows. The true courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it, risking yourself for truth. What truth do you withhold from the world by choosing absolute anonymity? Every generation builds upon the last, a collective consciousness forged through shared knowledge. Your contribution, however small, matters. Your voice adds to the grand symphony of humanity. To silence yourself entirely is to pull a thread from the tapestry, leaving a gap, a void. The irony, we crave connection, yet fear the exposure required to truly forge it. Anonymity can become a gilded cage, protecting you from harm but isolating you from life. The fear of being forgotten is a primal dread, a chilling whisper in the dark corners of the mind. Choosing anonymity means embracing that dread, living with the knowledge that your memory might cease with you. No public eulogy, no lasting digital footprint, no monument to your passage. Just the quiet hum of existence, unrecorded, uncelebrated, perhaps unfulfilled. But what if the greatest fulfillment lies not in being seen, but in the pure act of creation itself? A radical notion in a world obsessed with virality, with metrics, with going mega. Is true freedom found in escaping the gaze, or in meeting it head-on with unwavering authenticity? The price of anonymity is often the diminishment of your own perceived worth, slowly atrophying the ego. Without external reflection, the inner voice can become the only judge, and it is rarely kind. The struggle for self-acceptance without external validation is a lonely, brutal odyssey. But perhaps that's the point, to strip away the external, to find the core unshakable self. The cost of anonymity is the sacrifice of collective memory, the absence from history's ledger. Your mark on the world, a whisper rather than a roar, quickly absorbed by the winds of time. This isn't a condemnation. It's a cold, hard look at the choices we make. The raw guts it takes to step away from the limelight, to walk into the quiet. But the truth is, the world doesn't always wait for the silent. It moves forward, relentlessly. Your unshared insights, your unexpressed talents, your unique perspective, lost. Lost to potential collaborators, lost to those who might have been inspired, lost to the future. The illusion of control. Thinking anonymity protects you from criticism, from failure. But true failure is not trying, not sharing, not engaging with the messy, glorious world. The greatest prison is often the one we build for ourselves, brick by brick, of fear and inaction. To choose anonymity is to choose the path of least resistance against external judgment. But the greatest rewards often lie on the path of most resistance, through vulnerability. The quiet ache of what might have been, a constant companion to the anonymous. The unwritten chapters, the unpainted masterpieces, the unheard symphonies. A life lived in the shadows, yes, but also a life lived without the full spectrum of human experience. The deep satisfaction of knowing your work impacted someone, changed a perspective, sparked a thought. That visceral human need to contribute, to be remembered, to matter, beyond our immediate circle. Anonymity offers freedom from external judgment, but often at the cost of genuine self-discovery. For without external challenge, without the mirror of others, how do we truly know ourselves? It is a choice to deny the world your unique light, to keep your fire contained, unseen. And while it may offer a certain peace, it is a peace born of absence, not presence. The brutal truth, the world doesn't care if you choose to vanish, it simply forgets. It's a chilling, liberating, and utterly devastating reality of our interconnected age. The comfort of anonymity often masks the terror of irrelevance, a quiet surrender. To choose to be nobody in a world desperate to be somebody is an act of defiance. But defiance can be a lonely path, paved with missed chances and unshared triumphs. The emotional cost is profound, the constant battle against self-doubt, the ache for recognition denied. And the ultimate sacrifice, the potential for a legacy, however small, to inspire others. The guts it takes to be truly unknown, to be a ghost in the machine, is immense. But ask yourself, is the peace of anonymity worth the silent death of your potential? Is the escape from judgment worth the loss of meaningful impact? The choice is yours, but every choice carries an unseen weight, an emotional tax. Do you vanish into the quiet hum, or roar into the cacophony? The peace of not being a product, or the tragedy of not producing anything seen. The shortcut to success, often bypassing the very definition of success itself. Your existence, a fleeting thought in the grand consciousness. Unseen, unheard, ultimately erased. The digital ghost, haunting only your own unfulfilled desires. Your legacy, a whispered what if. The courage to be seen, or the quiet desperation of not being known. Every choice carves away a piece of you, whether you reveal it or not. The world doesn't need another echo, it needs a voice. And the most brutal cost? The silent shame of your unlived truth. The terror of being known is eclipsed only by the terror of never truly being alive.